Hello, book lovers, and welcome to Book Talk Radio Club. My name is Claire Perkins, and today I'm talking to children's book author Cristee Cook. Kristee's book, Your Hands Can Change the World, was a recent finalist in Book Talk Radio Club's 2018 awards and is receiving 5-star reviews on Amazon. Hi, Cristee, welcome, and thank you for coming back on Book Talk Radio Club.
Hi, Claire. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
It's my pleasure. Would you like to tell Book Talk Radio Club's listeners about Your Hands Can Change the World?
I would. Thank you. Your Hands Can Change the World is a picture book for young children. And I just got the idea of one very early morning. I was having trouble sleeping and I was trying to get some writing done. And the idea came to me, so I wrote it. And after I finished writing it, I started to kind of see the pictures in my mind's eye. So I started to create them. And I would say that I ultimately created the book for my children, but it's really been a pleasure to share it with families that I meet. And yeah.
Okay. So which age group is the book aimed at?
I would say to keep the child's attention and create like a story time atmosphere, it would be like 5 years to 10 years. But the younger children do listen to it.
So you said before, Your Hands Can Change the World is a picture book and teaches children how to use hands with insight, intention, and a strong sense of personal responsibility. So you believe that it's never too early to start learning, but how much do you think the children reading and looking at your book take in?
That's an amazing question. Thank you for asking it. I would say that I feel like children are very aware. They are extremely aware. So they may not be able to logically repeat what they've learned, but they will take it in.
Right.
And also, I feel like it's important sort of for me to say, like, if we're reading these books that have these nice values and teaching children lessons, and we're also trying to live a life like that, it's really going to make like an impact, right?
Mm.
So I think children just are very, very, very aware. And even sometimes when it seems like a child is wiggling and squirming around, like you might think that they're not listening, but I think some children is like that's how they process.
Right.
So I feel like I hope that they take in a lot of it.
Yeah, the children are like sponges, aren't they? They take in so much.
Yes. Yeah, I really think at times we can underestimate that, and I really do believe that they really are learning every second.
And of course, it's the example of the parents or the person reading the book, because children learn by example too. So the parents or guardian or whoever's reading the book can learn at the same time.
Exactly.
So as I said, Your Hands Can Change the World. It's a picture book. The illustrations are lovely, Cristee. Did you draw them?
I did, and thank you for that. I did do them, and they're actually a combination of like collage cut paper and like paint and pencil. So and I did them very, very carefully and very meticulously, just because I really took it page by page.
You obviously enjoy the illustrating.
I do. It's harder for me than writing, I won't lie. But yeah, I do enjoy it. I enjoyed this process very much.
You wrote the book in little rhyming paragraphs. To give listeners an idea, hands are truly special. We use them every day. And if you listen closely, you will learn many ways to use your hands uniquely, which means to shine your own special light, to find your best from inside and take actions with insight. I absolutely love that. Can you share some more from your book?
Thank you. Yes, I will. I would like to read a part toward the end.
Go on.
But if you pay attention and connect them to your heart, hands can do so many things for love, for good, to start.
Wonderful. Go on, carry on.
We can use our hands for giving a high five or a soft pat. Should we use our hands to hit? No, hands aren't meant for that. Your hands can plant a flower, fingers in the dirt. Flowers brighten up our garden and they help our planet Earth.
Wonderful. That's so lovely.
Thank you.
You have accompanying material on your website. It's called Use Your Hands to Share Exercises for Hearts and Hands, which is an educational resource to extend and reinforce the book's lessons and values. It offers a range of craft activities and discussion questions. Tell me about those.
Yes, thank you for that. I actually created the kind of like secondary educational supplement book based on conversations I was having with people at face-to-face events.
Right.
I had a lot of people that would say, "Oh, I teach my church Sunday school class and it's exactly this age," or "I homeschool," or "I'm a teacher," or "How do you use this book in classrooms? Have you had any teachers using it in classrooms?"
Mm.
And it just gave me the idea that people were really, I just thought it was a great sign that people were processing and taking in the lessons of the book and thinking of ways to make it even bigger. So I created it like on my computer. I did a lot of research on different activities and ideas that could expand the lessons. And they are a wide variety of things that range from ages of like preschool or almost kindergarten all the way to like 10 years old.
Right.
Two of my favorites, it's called a bio poem, and it's a printable that you can make photocopies of, and you have the students answer the prompts. So by the end of it, they have a poem that's like all about them, and some of it's like the color of my eyes, my name, my birthday, but some of it's like, here's my favorite thing. I love to read. I sometimes am scared of. So you get a glimpse of the child. And I just thought it was fun to have a writing exercise. And then there's one called the share map, where you trace circles and you decorate the circles. And when you put them all together, you see how you can share in a very expanded way. You start with like your family, your school, your city, your state, your country, the world. And
Right.
you have the children think of, how can I share with the world every day? It can be something really small. So just to get those thoughts going on how we can actually put the book into action.
That's wonderful. That's so imaginative.
Thank you.
You've been receiving some great reviews over on Amazon for Your Hands Can Change the World, including provoked a tremendously positive and uplifting conversation. And you've got two children, haven't you, Cristee? What do they think of their mummy's book?
I do, and thank you. Yeah, some of the reviews have been very humbling to read and very sweet. I do. I have a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old. I actually am just sitting here at my desk looking at a little sign my daughter made me. She's the 7-year-old.
Right.
It says, "Dear Mommy, I love, love, love your book."
Oh,
Yeah, and she doesn't want to read it every day, but when she does, she really does, and she like carries it around with her and reads it for like 2 days in a row.
oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, so she does this with books. This is like this is how she enjoys books.
Mm.
So I'm happy to be among them.
I bet you are. I bet you
And
are.
I think my son is still a little young to kind of connect that mommy wrote the book, but
Mm.
he does seem to like it when we read it. And maybe, like we were talking earlier, maybe he does get it. He just hasn't said that. So,
Yeah, yeah. He's maybe a bit too young to,
yeah,
as it were, discuss it or talk
yeah.
about it, but he takes it in. Yeah,
Yeah, he still might understand. He just hasn't necessarily expressed it to us if he does. So,
fantastic. I mean, you live a heart-centered and spiritual life. Can you explain that, please?
that's a great question. Thank you. Well, I would like to say that I try to do that that's my goal every day.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, we're human beings. But yeah, to me, that means, you know, doing like being the values and being the energy that the book talks about of thinking beyond myself, of seeing what ways that I can share, of thinking of other people, and also trying to do my best every day to give 101% to the things that are right in front of me, my family, my career, whatever shows up at the door.
Yeah.
But to me it also means like trusting my gut and following my heart, which sometimes means living a life that might look different to some people, or making decisions that maybe other people wouldn't make. But if I really listen to my gut and I really follow my heart, things go easier for me,
Absolutely.
So it's just I would like to say that for me, that means it's just the process of having the consciousness and the thoughts to live that way.
Right.
while understanding, that nobody is perfect.
Yes, exactly. We're perfect for whatever we need to be.
Exactly. Yeah.
Your website is mycirclegame.com. Quite an intriguing title. Why My Circle Game?
Thank you. And yeah, the website name is just such an interesting thing. I thought of the name My Circle Game because, well, I feel like we live life in circles. So we have patterns and phases and stages that I think we all repeat. That it's something that's human, across the board, universal human. So our patterns and our phases and our stages might show up a little differently each time. They might be in a different package or in a different environment or with different circumstances. But if we look at the seed level of them, they're probably the same basic patterns. Right. So I think when I talk about on my website, living a heart-centered life and a spiritual process and a circle game, it's just this thing I have with like trying to sort of process my process, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Like just to be present with my personal process, and that by doing so, it opens up space of possibility and permission for other people to do the same if they want to. So
I love your recent blog post, Used to Be. It's all about apologising for being oneself. I'll read a part of it. This really struck me. I used to be a person who apologised for a lot of little things, the shape of my belly, the colour of my teeth, or the sound of my voice. I used to be a person who apologised for a lot of big things, the size of my heart, the depth of my awareness, or my desire to share. Why do you think so many people apologise for what they perceive as their faults, which are actually probably mostly endearing?
Yeah, no, that's true. Again, with the patterns, I would say it goes back to these human patterns. And some people I've met people that don't do that so much, Claire. Like they don't really apologize for that, but they have other things that maybe they struggle with. So to put it succinctly, like that's one thing that I struggle with, and I wrote a poem about it. Again, going back to being very vulnerable and honest about my process. The reason I feel like I do that is because I do understand that it gives people maybe it opens up space for healing to occur beyond just me.
Wonderful.
That's my goal. Yeah.
You offer creative workshops for adults via your website. I love the sound of your Nurture Your Light workshop. What's all that about?
Thanks. I created it because it was something that I wanted but couldn't quite find.
Right.
And I had a few people in my life that were asking for it as well, so we did it. Yeah, it's a day-long creative retreat, and we do a bunch of different stuff. We do a lot of writing, but then once we write, we pull apart the things that maybe are areas where you feel stuck or not so happy or more is possible.
Yes.
And we do additional dissection and like a regrouping of that stuff. It's not like a therapy session. It's much more creative and nurturing, but we do kind of unpack what's bugging us a little bit. And then we follow it up with like really nice snacks and crystals and fluffy, comforting things.
It sounds wonderful. I see you do Reiki. Have you trained in other alternative therapies, and if so, which ones?
Yeah, Reiki is always the undercurrent of everything I do, I think. And I'm very honored to be able to do that. Yes, I have a spiritual hodgepodge that comes out in everything. Kabbalah, Reiki, access consciousness, general spirituality.
So let's go back to books. So what's next on the writing front for Cristee Cook?
Thanks for asking. Yeah, I'm working on two things. The next thing I think that's going to be finished first is actually a book for grown-ups. It's a book of poems and essays, and I'm not ready to reveal the title yet, but it's almost there. And I am working on the second book about children and how we can use one of our five senses to share. And I can tell you that the book is about the eyes and our sense of sight and how we see.
Wonderful. So where can Book Talk Radio Club's listeners purchase Your Hands Can Change the World?
You can purchase it on Amazon, balboapress.com in their bookstore. That's the publishing company that helped me with my book. Actually, my book is also on Etsy.com.
Okay.
And you can purchase it on barnesandnoble.com.
Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you, Cristee. That was absolutely fascinating. Please come back on Book Talk Radio Club. I'd love to chat with you and hear more. In the meantime, good luck for the future. And thank you, everyone, for listening to Book Talk Radio Club. Thank you, Cristee.
Thanks so much for having me. I'll talk to you soon.
My pleasure.